Hello everybody, welcome back to the Writer channel. Today I'm going to be talking about a way to automate and turn into an agentic workflow a customer win-back campaign. This connects to your Databricks or your Snowflake's instance. It looks through tons of customer data, figures out a bunch of different personas based on the way they spend, the last time they visited, what you know about their income, and then creates a customized email send for each of these different customers to get them to come back in if they've been away for a while. So if that sounds interesting to you and like something you might do in your day-to-day at a marketing job, but something you'd be interested in working with an agent on or having AI automate some of that analysis and content creation, then stick around and I'll show you how it's done. All right, everybody. So let me hop over here into Writer and we can play around for a little bit with the agent itself. So first things first, let's talk through a couple of things we're gonna need to use here. So if I go to Manage Writer, I've got my connectors. So I can set it to be connected to any of these different services. HubSpot is where a lot of marketing data lives. Databricks is another, okay? So I've also got something in this particular agent that I think is important, which is I've got skills, okay? I've created a skill that does customer data analysis and segmentation. And this is something that someone on your team might be really good at. They've honed this workflow over years, and we can bring this process in and make it like a tool that the AI can access on demand. And now everybody on the team has democratized access to this highly specialized set of skills. All right, so we're gonna close this up for now and we'll hop over into the win-back campaign email. So what does this do? It connects to Databricks and runs a SQL query to look through the customer data for someone who has premium or high value spend versus someone who loves games versus someone who has a different customer profile. Then created a business, Zoinks, which is a friendly gadget electronics retailer. And so it knows how to apply the tone that this company always uses because we've given it the content guide. So again, key when you're working with an agent to be giving it lots of context. Here, we've added it as a file, an MD file, and it knows to be conversational, benefit focused, and avoid jargon. All right, so it creates these, verifies the HTML completeness, and then it connects out with another one of the integrations we have here, Klaviyo, that does event creation and email event flow triggering. Each flow triggers on a certain metric. They're filtered by the different segments, premium, high value, gaming, or standard. The email templates use event properties like their names, the last product bought, end of a campaign that you're running to win them back. So we've got all that stuff loaded and normalized. We make sure we've got the right recipients. When we look at the demo results summary, right? We want to make a comprehensive summary here showing how long they've been inactive, the minimum spend threshold, the discount range, campaign start, and campaign end. So these are like the critical metrics around which you could possibly build a win-back campaign, and the agent has to figure out based on the Databricks, the different customer personas and what it's found, you input this data here, these are the parameters it has to work with, and it's gonna generate ideas for an email win-back campaign, okay? So expected email per recipient's 4, total expected emails 12, and those will happen over a series of weeks or months, depending on what you put in those fields above. So if I were to run this, which I did over here, you'll see it go through Databricks, executing SQL queries, creating files, and then looking for the integration to Klaviyo to send an event. So if I were to hop over here into my email before this, and I type in Zoinks, you can see here I've got emails for all of the different folks. Luther, you're our top customer. Janet, your exclusive premium update is waiting. So the copy was all written by them. And then we also gave it a guide to their brand colors, their fonts, the HTML style it likes, and it's giving them a bunch of different value props to draw them in. This whole flow takes maybe 15, 20 minutes to run. That's analyzing the customer data, coming up with the different segments, planning out the email campaign flow over a number of weeks, learning the tone and conversational, qualities of this brand, and figuring out how to apply their brand standards, whether that be colors, fonts, or something else. That's something that could have taken days or weeks for an individual. And of course, the human on the loop is here to be checking on everything, to be adding their own voice at the end, to be making sure that the agent is delivering high quality work and not slop. But when this task is passed off, it leaves you free to create the next campaign or to go out in the field to an event to win back customers. This is something that can be automated and enhance the value you deliver as an individual on the marketing team. All right, one last thing I want to show you here, just so you understand a little bit more about skills. This win back campaign email here, you can see I've got this long SQL query in here that we wrote to kind of give this some very specific instructions. And over time, if you have a ton of context in the window that the agent is working with, that can degrade its quality. So I also could have all of this right here, all of this SQL could just be a simple tool call to the customer data analysis segmentation skill. And so instead of reading through all of this, it calls the tool, checks on what it needs to do, bring it back in. And this skill is also portable to future playbooks or to other applications of Databricks and customer data analysis. So just a neat little thing there. I find myself decomposing the instructions into individual skills that I save, and then I can reuse those modular tools throughout a whole bunch of different playbooks. Plus, I can share them with other people on my team, and when they upgrade them, I get the benefits. All right, everybody, that was a quick run through of the Zoinks win back email campaign. We showed off a Databricks connector and a Klaviyo connector. We showed off how to build a custom skill. We showed off how to upload an MD file to get your voice and tone right, everything from the written copy to the font and the design. If this was interesting to you and you want to learn more about how we use AI and agents here on the Writer Marketing team, please subscribe to the channel. We'll be back every week with another video showing how we're using this stuff to expand what the individual on the team can accomplish.